Okay, really didn't like the location of the EMP pump. This is a bracket I got from ProSpeed. It's for a Camaro. So basically the bolts are there. And so when it mounts up there. The only problem is when it mounts like that, as you can see, the discharge of the pump, you can't rotate this. This is fixed on the pump, so you can't clock it to turn where this discharge goes right down into the bottom. So I got to put this extra elbow in here to do it. So I got to looking at this thing, and it'd be easier to make it go flat and put it there. It drops the, I'll just do it like that. So it drops the inlet and it brings this up. This actually has to come up and go over and out right there. So that's pretty close. So basically it's a pretty easy modification. You just take this bracket, cut it here and here, move this then piece over to here, weld it up, and then bend it down flat at a 90-degree angle, so the bolt's actually sitting right there flat. And then this thing will mount, here's the bolts on the bottom, it'll mount just like that and it'll be lower, and I won't have to put this extra elbow on the discharge. So that will work much, much better. And there's where the water injection methanol pump coming off the tank will go right there. That's good as place as any to put it. Now the goal here, you see this plywood under here, the goal is to bolt everything to the plywood, clear out where the bolt's going to hit a couple of these ridges. I can try to get most of the bolts in these valleys, but some will hit the ridges. I'll drill those out and then basically only put 2 bolts through the plywood that actually go down into the frame. I'm going to cross base it where it's real sturdy, and the bottom of the plywood then just epoxy it down to the bottom. All the bolts will be up with the nuts on the top, you know, looking like that. Sorry, looking like that. And then just have to put it, once you get it in there, I'll tighten everything on. I'll have to take the harness bar off because there's this lip that goes back under here. And so with that lip, you actually have to go a little bit forward and then slide it back, which is not a problem. Everything's pretty much centered. It'll be kind of heavy, so I'll have to get some help to do it. But that'll sit in there nicely, and everything should be nice and secure, and probably a solid mount because, again, there's a lot of holes you got to drill through and get underneath the car to try to line those up. It's just a pain in the ass. It's much easier to do it this way. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on today.